Okay. Hey guys, it's Seth, and I'm here today with Karen, freelancing champion, and she's going to share some insights about how she has become so successful with freelancing. So, hey Karen.
Hi guys. Yeah, so kind of basically where I wanted to start is where something that Seth touched upon in one of like the videos where he talks about freelancing. So I mean, he's very right about like the crowdedness of online marketplaces and how can drive prices down sometimes. So your best defense against that when you're freelancing on sites like Upwork would be to obviously like position yourself as a better freelancer, more authentic. And so like first of all, when you're even deciding like on what like site to go to do freelancing, like my biggest recommendation would be Upwork because that's where you find, I guess, like a lot of the highest paying gigs. And if you use like, I know there's sites like Fiverr and stuff. If you're gonna use like a cheaper site like that, I know one strategy is to like sell something cheap, like a page for $5, and then after that and then you ask the client like if they have other longer term projects going on, and then you try to land something like that. But I mean, if like I said, like Stone Upwork is probably your best bet. And so like when you're starting an Upwork after like you create your profile and everything, like think of it as more of a business person than a freelancer, because like I feel like freelancers would think like, okay, I'm gonna like beg clients to give me a job, to give me a little bit of money so I can do some work for them. But you have to try to turn things around and think like more like a business person. And think of Upwork as like a warm lead generation tool. Like this is where you're gonna get leads for your business, right? And so I mean, you can pick whether you want to do more hourly rate jobs or like jobs. It's up to you. I started doing hourly rate just because it was something that I was most familiar with. Um, I don't know, just whatever you choose. The way I would recommend setting your rates. Well, I don't think there's like one rule of thumb, but just like I would say, since Upwork's fees are 20% for the first $500 that you make with your client, and then 10% for, I think it's like from 500 to like 10,000. Long-term project, getting dollars is going to be pretty easily. So what you're going to probably mostly be dealing with is the 10% that they're going to take out. And so for that reason, I would say is like charge 10% more than what you want to see in your bank account. And kind of keep in mind that you're gonna have to pay taxes on this as well. And then so in terms of how you send proposals and how you like apply to these jobs on Upwork, most people like you would cover letter, a few paragraphs, and then probably you answer some questions that they have for you. And something that I would really recommend is recording a video proposal, because not only do they have higher conversion rates on like clients contacting you back, but you're putting yourself out there. You're not hiding behind a screen like every other freelancer out there. You're actually putting yourself out there and being an authentic person, and that's huge because when you record a video proposal, it doesn't have to be something like super high quality or like with effects or anything. Your biggest, I guess, defense against other companies who do have spend on quality is to just deliver authenticity in your video. So what I would say, like what I did and what like other people recommend, like in the strategy to make these videos is like, don't record a separate video for every proposal that you're sending out. That's just too inefficient. And instead, I would like pick like a niche or like something specific. Like let's say you want to specialize in Facebook ads, then you would just make a video talking like 50% talking about what you do in your experience. Even if you have a little experience, just try to like, and then after that, like the other 50% spend on your call to action. So how they're going to contact you back, and the way you would formulate this is kind of like messing psychologically with them. So you're going to give them like 2 or 3 choices to contact you back. So the normal thing would be like phone number, Skype, or like a scheduling tool. Like I think there's scheduling tools like Schedule Once. And so what you would do with that is just include that in your call to action. Tell them like, hey, you can call me, you can contact me with Skype ID, or you can, schedule a meeting with me with my scheduling tool. So that gives them three options, three ways to contact you. And it's international, and it caters to like what their time limits are. Like if they're busy or they want to talk to you later, then they can contact you later. And so that way you're kind of making it psychologically different. Instead of them choosing whether they want to contact you back or not, they're choosing which of the ways they are going to contact you back. And so that, I mean, just remember to track your conversion rates on the video that you do make, and just kind of see how many clients are contacting you back versus how many proposals you're sending out. And what I would recommend for the format, like when you're writing the proposal on Upwork, is to like record your video, upload it on YouTube, and go ahead and link it into your cover letter that you're writing on Upwork, because it allows you to link out to wherever. You would include a link in your cover letter on your Upwork proposal, and then that way you're sending them. It's like a click funnel. They're going from the Upwork proposal to your YouTube video, and then to like whatever your scheduling or like contact method is. So that's basically all in a nutshell. How like recording a video proposal would be really, really effective when getting clients. And like, so like when you're talking about them, since you're doing one video for like several proposals, I would recommend like kind of like trying to find a little bit, and like not too specific, obviously, because have different circumstances. That's why I'm saying like pick like something specific, whether it's like Facebook ads or whether it's like PPC or content or something like that. So in the end, it's just finding new ways, finding different creative ways to stand out from other freelancers on Upwork, which is huge, especially when it gets crowded. And I would say just down the road, like if this is possible for you to, after you create a good relationship with them, obviously you don't want to be like to pay those Upwork fees like forever. So like a lot of freelancers, their goal is to like take them off of Upwork, push a good just a good reputation with them, and you over deliver in your results. And even I know like some entrepreneurs, like they create huge businesses out of Upwork by actually outsourcing the work to other people, like teaching other people like, okay, like this is the process of how we're going to do the work, and then outsourcing to them, and then just focus on getting more.
Awesome, Karen. That's
Yep.
great information. Whatchamacallit? So yeah, so do you have some so that's about, engaging with the client to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any advice for people once they've actually got someone who's sort of interested in their proposal?
Right.
Take it to the next step?
And sorry, I didn't hear your last part. One more time.
The connection's funky. I said, do you have any advice for people, like once they've made the initial contact, maybe they've got the person on the phone, what should they do at that point? What's some advice on the second step?
I mean, after you get them on the phone, like I said, continue to deliver confidence, because like I was even talking with like a few people that took the course. It's like, how can I be confident about, like it really is all about how you communicate, how you display your confidence. Even if you have like a little bit of experience, you have to own it, and you have to like when you're asking them on that call with the client, you have to make it all about them, right? You have to ask goals, like see, like ask everything like from their point of view, like where they want to go in the future, where do they see their digital marketing team or their like Facebook ad team or whatever team like now, and kind of like really learn, like ask insightful questions, learn about what their plans are, what they're doing, like everything's about the client, right? And kind of like make them feel like you're truly interested in what they're doing, and in contributing to whatever their freelance thing is. And just that, and just be like, I'd say like, and it sounds so simple, like just be confident, like, but really like that's how you literally stand out from other people. Just be authentic, be you about what, even if you know like a little bit.
Awesome. That's true. We could probably do a whole other video on that, on the
Yeah.
the art of confidence when it comes to this. But that's what I
Yeah.
try to give people is like, it's not a matter of like necessarily faking it or being, you know, I've actually had people, you know, try to sell me because, you know, people, whether they approach me as a YouTuber or as a course creator or just within this field, I've had people come up to me. And what's really funny is some people confuse genuine confidence and authenticity with like some kind of salesy, like pushiness. And
With what? I'm sorry.
can you not hear me? I don't know what's up with the connection.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Um, I just said you don't have to push anything on people. You just have to like know in your mind that you know about this stuff, even if you just learned it. And then you
Right.
just kind of naturally relaxed. It's better to be relaxed and present with someone than to try to be salesy, you know? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you $1 million, you know?
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
that's obviously not true. Um, cool. Uh, well, that's some really good information, Karen. Do you have anything else for us, or did you have was this? I don't know how much of your sheet you went through. If you went through everything already, or if you had some more stuff.
I think that's most of it. Just because I know that like one of the hardest parts is just getting those proposals to actually the clients actually to contact you back, and then just like, some people have actually asked me like, how do you transition from the regular jobs to freelancer? Because like those are two different things, right? How do you do the transition? And so like, I mean, I don't have like a sure way. The way I did it was I started sending out proposals while I was still at the company where I first was hired for digital marketing. And so I started sending out proposals. I didn't know I would get like a response that quick, because I did get like really quick responses from clients. And so just went on like I guess some people would call them a sales call with them. And so I was able to land them pretty easily. And so I actually there was like which I had to like both work at my freelance gig and at the corporate job, and I think I was finishing up college too. So pretty
Yeah,
busy, but
that's what you should do. No, that's the thing. If people are asking you that, you definitely, if anyone has this idea that you're going to somehow jump ship and go right over to freelancing, that's a terrible idea. You want to, if you have a job, the great thing about freelancing is that it's freelancing. You can do it while you're doing your regular job. So you would want to have your calls with your clients after work and do the, you know, I think anyone who transitions into this type of lifestyle, like when I was, you know, every time I had a day job, I was always working on extra projects after work. So that's kind of the mentality you need to have if you want to actually work for yourself, I think, and be successful. So yeah, you definitely want to do both things. Um,
for sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, Karen, I
And
know.
I mean, yeah, just like I was saying, just completely own that what you know, even if you know like so little. Like I feel like there are some people who are like asking for advice is like, how can there's just freelancing, like the what they get off of from freelancing is like, oh, there's like instability, right? Like it's kind of unstable compared to like a corporate job. And I would say, well, like at least on Upwork, there's a way to like like long-term gigs and long-term jobs. So you can like offset that with that. And then like if you really want something, then I mean, like I would say like, and this is what I was talking about, is that like some people are like, you know, like freelancing is like super unstable versus like a corporate job. And then I'm like, well, the recession showed us with so many layoffs and stuff that like, you know, the most secure corporate job really isn't secure. So I would say it's even more stable to be a freelancer and have like several clients in case one of them drops off. You still have an income.
Absolutely. And remember, you can. That's a good point, Karen, because yeah, there's no such real thing as job security anymore. It doesn't exist. Um,
Yeah.
Even, my dad was telling me, lawyers, you think, oh, being a lawyer is like stable. It's not stable at all. There's people coming out of
No.
law school.
Mm-mm.
They're doing $20 an hour work with their law degree. So
Right.
the other thing is just remember is that you can apply these principles to anywhere, not just Upwork. Upwork is obviously, a huge hub for freelancing, but you can apply this philosophy and this approach to when you meet someone at a store or at a networking group, or if you find someone through some other lead generation, through some other website, through Craigslist. I think Upwork is fantastic. I don't really like the fact that they kind of have a monopoly on this market because they bought Elance and stuff. And I think that kind of sucks because if people are, sometimes they're become a little more rigorous with their approval process. And I know most of my students have been able to get approved, but some of them still are having, sometimes they have trouble I think Upwork does a really good job because they do get a lot of spam applications. But once you're on there, you're right, it can be very daunting because there are seemingly so many freelancers, and that's really good advice for how to stand out. And yeah, you definitely, what you said, and I'll say it again, don't rush to the bottom. And if you're charging, I think I have one student, so like if you're charging too little, that's not good. Charge more.
Right.
And like Karen said, listen, guys, you have to understand, this is the reality of it. It's like, you know about 100 times more than the average person about this stuff if you've gone through my course. If you actually go through the course, as soon as you learn the AdWords stuff and you learn about account structure, you're in 12th grade. Everyone else is in 3rd grade. If you learn about SEO and how to do that properly, now you're in college and everyone else is in 6th grade. Okay, you know these things. Even if you're just reading your notes from my course to somebody, you know more because I'm sharing with you knowledge I've had from 5 years of experience in this field. And you could take anybody's AdWords account and make it better. You can take anybody's website and make it better. You can make anybody's Facebook things better. That's all they care about. They don't care about your degree or if you're having an experience. That's all stuff you're adding to it. If you start getting insecure and like nervous, that's just you adding complexity where it's very simple. It's not true. People have it like it's true that, I've only been doing this for a week. I have people who get into this in 2 or 3 weeks, and they literally, you can take the account structure template, go to almost anybody's AdWords account and make it perform better, and that person's going to make more money. It's really that simple. So yeah, you just have to know that and just kind of trust it, and also be okay with the fact that you might, you get the account, you look at it, and you have that moment of like, oh God, I don't know what to do initially.
Yeah.
That's fine. When I had my first job, they handed me $1 million of ad spend.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like annual. So it was 100,000 a month and 30 accounts, and they handed it to me. And I remember in the beginning, what was very interesting because my first day, I actually was like in panic mode because I was like, I have to learn all these 30 different businesses and all these bids, and I want to make it so good. I want to perform, And thankfully, my supervisor was the VP of the company. He was sitting right next to me. He was a very even keel guy. He said, "You got to relax, man. Like, you just got to really take everything one step at a time here." And after a few weeks, I was like looking at this account today, and I just was much more chill about it because, that's actually the secret. Because like when I was managing accounts, the clients are the ones who are supposed to be panicked. The clients are the ones who are going to come to you with oh my God, my bids went up today and I didn't have as many conversions. And your job is not to jump in there with them and get panicked. It's like being a parent and your kid like saw a ghost. You don't like jump into the closet with your kid and look for the ghost. You got to be the one that say, hey, there's no such thing as ghosts. You have to be the calm person that says, all right, well, let's examine this. But also in marketing, there's time frames, so like sometimes, This mindset thing goes for everyone in the course too, because I got some people that come to me and say, I submitted my application this morning and I haven't heard from a company. Say, you gotta calm down, man. This is universal. This is for dating. This is for meeting people. You have to just relax and let things happen as they're meant to happen.
Yeah, sure.
And with an account, it's the worst thing I can see. This used to happen to me in the beginning, because like I said, a client would come and their mind's all over the place and they see that we've made a change, and then like in 5 minutes they're not making more sales, and then you go in and you start making changes and you're messing everything up. You have to give these accounts time. Even with paid search, you have to give it a few days. You need like 100 clicks. You need data. You got to make a change. You need data. But the underlying mindset is one of being calm. You have to be, be John McClane in Die Hard. I don't know if it's a dated reference, but be the Rock. Be the cool guy or the cool girl, and just like Karen, and just be like, I know what I'm doing.
Right. And like the best way you can show that to people, to clients, is through that like first interview or first like call that you have with them. Like that's your best opportunity to show them that like that's your personality, that you're going to be calm, that you're going to be collected and confident about what you do know. And like something like that I know a bunch of other students have asked me is like, how much should I know? Because I think some people really want to like, I guess, over prepare before they start like with their first client or their first job or whatever. And they're always like, so they go ahead and take Isaac's course, like for, if they're doing PC, like they just really go all in, and like even the really nitty gritty specifics. And I'm like, about too much about like knowing everything, and especially about trying to spread yourself way too thin, like knowing every single little thing there is to know about Facebook ads and PPC ads and SEO and social media. Like you're just going to spread yourself out way too thin. So don't worry about like just like trying to know everything before your first client or your first job, because that's something that I've seen other students try to just like, if you want, like I know that other students, what they've done is they chose like one area that they want to like start in, so like PPC or SEO or whatever, and then just like, okay, if you're gonna go all in and learn that, obviously get your certification, like that's a no-brainer, but like don't stress yourself out like the little tiny like the most specific details. Because I remember when I met your like one of your other students that lives here in Columbus, like he was showing me like stuff on his laptop, like really super specific questions that he thought they would ask him, like super specific like PPC questions. I'm like, I don't even know what you're showing me. I'm like, I don't know what that is. But like about just knowing enough to land your first client or get your first job, and then from there it'll be just so much easier to learn because you're literally doing it every day. So like don't worry about just like oh, maybe I don't know enough. It's like, I don't know enough. Like it's just about how do you deliver? How confident are you?
Yeah. And I had like I mentioned in my in the course, when I got my job, my $100,000 a year job, I was able to come in and make just a few changes, and it made a big difference. But here's something about internet marketing that's really exciting, and just what's possible. When I first started learning about internet marketing, I remember I wanted to make courses, and I did mine on film because I've been doing film for many years, but I wanted to do courses on other things too. And I had that same hang up. I don't know enough about this to teach it, or I don't know enough about this to do it. And there's a really interesting phenomenon on the internet where it's like, you can learn one thing, and if you know that one thing that other person doesn't know, you're an expert.
Yeah.
You are better off getting the client and just going for it and figuring it out. That's actually the best. Like when we made our movie this year, man, I mean, I'm going to do a whole book on that movie experience, because there was just so many unknowns and so many challenges and so many things we had to just handle that we could not anticipate. And the mantra of the whole movie was, we'll figure it out. we used to, when I started out, I was kind of similar. I wanted to have everything figured out. I wanted to have everything planned out, and I would also try to like think things. And then we realized like that's just not how anything works. You have to just say, we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So like, let's say you got a client and you like, okay, I know AdWords, got it, and I'm confident. And then you get the client, and then there's like some aspect of AdWords that you don't know about. Figure it out. Figure it out on the way down. That cliched thing where it says like, build your parachute on the way down. I don't think it has to be quite that dramatic because you're not like about to die.
Right.
But it's really that attitude, because
it really isn't.
That's shocked me about my course and myself. I've been even surprised. I've had students who have the right attitude and get the basics and then just go for it, they get results. Like I've had some students where I'm almost like, okay, hold on, I think you should learn this, and then they just go out there and they just like get a client.
Yeah.
So
100%. Yeah, and I was even saying, like, I was talking to someone yesterday. I even told them, like, I was like, I didn't even finish Isaac's course. Like, I just got, like, I remember, like, I did the first few videos, like it did cover like a lot of, just like to like apply for jobs. I'm like, I think I know enough. Like, I have my AdWords certification, like, and I think, and even me, so like it still worked out for me. And even though I didn't finish Isaac's course, which goes like super in depth of everything, just that confidence, like I still knew what was going on at those PPC meetings with our PPC agency. Like I knew what was going on. Like you don't like it really, and even if you don't know what's going on, you can go back and research it later, right? And I think that's one of the best ways, like you said, that you'll learn, because you're actually putting it into practice. Like and it's like, I think it's hard for some people at first because like everything's being thrown at you, like all that information, and you're just like, okay, learn. You're actually doing by learning like that, you're just gonna remember it so much better.
absolutely, guys, we can't stress that enough. And it's okay to get, if you get your profile, if you get rejected, or it's okay. It's perfect. You have to just keep making the effort. And nobody is like born knowing this stuff. You just have to keep putting yourself out there and just go for it. So, and it said, if Karen are at 19 years old could be doing this, you can do it. Or 20. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Karen. Well, thanks. Do you have last things you want to say?
I mean, not really. I mean, just like with everybody else that I've been like giving advice to recently, is just I'm like always available if people have questions, like specific questions. And then if not, like just research things yourself. Like you can find things on YouTube, you can find things on Google. There's always a way to know something. Like there's always a way to find out, to get an answer.
Awesome. And remember though, I just want to put that marketing is an unknown. You have to remember this. Nobody knows in marketing, not even the most expensive marketing consultant, even the big names in internet marketing like Evan Pagan, even the biggest companies. It's nobody can predict exactly what is going to happen. You can have the best strategies, and that's what you want to rely on, is you know how this stuff works, you know how things tend to go. But
yeah,
you need to feel comfortable understanding that nothing is guaranteed, and that's a good thing. It's not like, oh God, I can't do marketing, there's too many unknowns. It's that you have the confidence to test things, and you have to think like a scientist. But this is good because then you want that part of your brain that wants everything to be guaranteed. You say, listen, that's just not how it works. Even like McDonald's flops with some of their marketing campaigns. So.
right. Yeah,
take
and
that pressure off.
Take that pressure off, and just like keep an open mind with everything. Like I know, like for example, like TV ads and billboards are gonna be like obsolete. They're becoming obsolete, and so 50 years from now, like imagine what the next new wave of like marketing is gonna be. Like I can't even find. And so just always stay true to what the trends are. Like you said, marketers, like they don't know everything. It's all about patterns and about testing, and just see where the trends are going and see like where the new wave of, I don't know, digital marketing is going.
Absolutely. And just to build on that, because I'm, you know, my at my first job, my boss was the VP, and he'd been doing ads for 10 years when I got there. And he would sometimes have an account, you know, even the best marketer will sometimes have an account where you just have tried so many things and you just can't seem to make a difference with it. And that's not, you know, that's not always the case. It's not even often the case. Don't, you know, don't worry about that. But he was telling me once he had some account and he was doing all the right things. And he was split testing ads. Then one day he just, for the hell of it, he was just like, and he just wrote some goofy ad copy, you know, just because he was, I don't know what to do. And it started to convert. It started to get him more clicks. And he just was like, okay. He had the, you know, he experimented, you know, he went out of the box. But
Right.
it's that kind of a thing. It's not like I need to be expert so-and-so in order to do this.
Right.
And then everything will always be right. So anyway, guys, I hope this has been a little bit inspiring for you, confidence building. Really, thanks, Karen, for being here. And
No problem.
yeah, absolutely,
Happy to
guys.
help share some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, you guys can get in touch with her. I'll put her contact info below this video. All right, I'll see you guys soon.
All right.
Okay, stop broadcast. All right.